What's up guys, welcome to the channel Bionic Gaming and Entertainment. Today I have a special video for you guys. I am going to talk about this game that I've been hearing so much about, Genshin Impact. I'm a little bit late starting it, but still I wanted to give you guys my opinion of the game after 7 days of playing as a 100% free-to-play player. The reason I am doing this is because I'm typically a content creator for Raid Shadow Legends, right? And I've decided to undertake that game almost 2 years ago as 100% free to play as well, making it all the way to the end game. So I think that my opinion will be relatively valuable in Genshin Impact as well, so that some of you guys who perhaps want to test this game or decide to spend money on this game know what to expect from the perspective of a free to play player, okay? So let's jump right in. So before I get started with the review of this game and a couple of tips along the way, let's quickly go over my stats of what I've been able to do in those 7 days. I'm currently at Adventure Rank 28. I've only done 2 wishes so far, and it was the beginner wishes. In case you guys do not know, there is a big gacha element to this game, which is basically the ability to pull different heroes or champions, call them what you want, along with some interesting gear. Some of the best gear in the game, I assume, is going to be behind this aspect of the game, right? So I mean, I love gachas, but like when it becomes a little bit too much of a pay to win, I tend to not like it as much. However, in this game so far, I haven't exactly felt like I was limited by the gacha element, right? So the ones that I've done are the 2 novice wishes. I suppose I got somewhat lucky in the sense that I pulled some champions. I pulled this Beidou, I believe, and the other one was Noelle, and then I pulled also, if I'm not mistaken, the one I'm using right now, Razor, okay? So those 3 heroes have been quite helpful to help me progress, especially Razor, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen a couple of tier lists, but I mean, it doesn't feel like I absolutely needed these heroes. I will say, though, that they are pretty useful for having extras so that you can send some of them on expeditions, okay? So for now, I'm going to hang on to what seems to be the wishes, right? The currency to make a couple more wishes, as long as my Primo Gems, which I have not used whatsoever for the time being. I wanted to see if I was able to progress without having to go all in into these so-called wishes or summons. Called them what you want, right? You know what they are. And another way to quickly check my progress is that we can go over my achievements. Now, I'm not sure, you know, if I've been somewhat paying attention to this or not. I haven't really. I've just sort of been playing the game, and this happens to be completing itself along the way. So obviously, there's probably a lot more for me to do in here. But again, as free to play, I didn't feel like I was being limited anywhere, right? As for, let's say, the champions or heroes, characters, again, sorry, I'm not too sure what we're going to call them, but I decided to main a Razor simply because he has a good damage potential. I currently use Kea, which was free or freely given, right, as you do the story. Barbara, I believe you get as you reach Adventure Rank 20 before patch 1.1, so I did manage to get her, and then we get Amber for free as well. Decided to work on her because this is basically my fire, my water, my frost element into my lightning element, and I think that they have a decent combo between them. And then, like I said, I pulled the Noelle Beidou. I don't really use Lisa, we got for free as well, so these 3 characters are being used for the expeditions. I did not really work with the MC, although from what I've seen, you can actually get pretty far with the main character, okay? But the reason I did not use him is because I felt like this guy right here had a slightly better damage potential, and that has a lot to do with the sword. I believe his weapon, if I'm not mistaken, is the one that I crafted, okay? So, of course, you can go for the gacha element, you can hope to get some better weapons, you can find some as you play the game, but this one right here, Prototype Animus, is actually pretty solid. At least I like it so far. This is the one I've been using. It's ready to rank up once I hit Adventure Rank 30. I've even had the chance to craft a second one upgraded to rank number 2, and so it's been working perfectly, at least for the time being. Now, I don't know if I'm going to run into some issues, but like right now, this guy is also ready to go, or almost ready to go, to be ranked up once I hit Adventure Rank 30. And like I said, I worked with the other free-to-play, we'll call them that, characters, and I do not have any issues so far. I suppose I could rank up this Amber, although a lot of people are saying she's not great, but you know what, she's my only bow user, and I feel like in this game you definitely need to have a bow on your team. Therefore, without having any other options for the time being, I still somewhat worked on her weapon. I could max it out to some extent, but this, I'm not entirely sure where I got this one. Maybe it was the gacha element or within the game itself, but it's been working fine for the time being. Okay, so I'm gonna say that on the front of the characters, the gearing, the whole thing, even my main dude right here with the artifacts, I've been getting some pretty interesting pieces. I believe this sort of like gladiator longing was gotten from one of the main bosses. Okay, so the dragon or the wolf, I forget which one. I did get a second piece as well, but like it doesn't have the right main stats, so I'm kind of holding off onto ranking up this stuff here. But like I've reached like artifact ranks 12, at least on the main pieces that I've been using for the time being. Okay, another way we can quickly check as well my progress so far is to look at the adventure book. If you guys do not know what that is, hopefully you're going to learn very quickly. This is important. A lot of great information is in here, but you can see that I'm on chapter 6, 10 out of 12 in terms of progress. I have yet to ascend a weapon to phase 3. I need to be adventure rank 30 to pull that off, and then I'm waiting to get slightly better artifacts overall to increase 4 more of them to 8 before I can move to the next one. If you guys do not know about commissions by now, well, you really need to, right? You need to do this every day. This counts for so much experience towards your adventure rank, which is independent of your character experience. So make sure you understand how this works. It's relatively fast to do once you have the whole map unlocked, which I do. I'll show you guys in a second. As for the domains or dungeons, the first time around, I believe they're kind of like called a challenge first time completion, but then they start costing some precious resin in order to complete them. Some of them are material used for upgrading your weapons. That's great. You guys probably know that. More weapons here. They're also the ones for the talents. Okay, so I've been kind of like distributing my resin across a little bit of all this to ensure that I'm ranking up everything at the same time. So right now, I'm kind of just limited by my total adventure rank. All my champions or characters, I should say, are ready to go. This here is sort of like the main bosses. There's the one for Storm Terror. I think you get to do him once a week. I've done him only once more since the original main story, okay, and that is where I got one of the gladiator pieces, I think, right there's somewhere in here, if I'm not mistaken, or it was this right here. Okay, so Gladiator's Finale. This is also where you get some of the materials for crafting the claymore that you saw that I'm using, the prototype anime. So it is important that you do this every time it's up. You can also buy one of these from one of the vendors, I believe in the Liu province. I think I'm saying that right. We'll look at the map in a second. Spiral Abyss, I didn't really try that hard so far, but I think that if you get to floor 3, chamber 3 at least, you will get yet another champion's Yang Ling, I think is her name. Probably not saying that right, but anyway, I am hoping to be able to complete that relatively shortly. And then these little bosses right here, again, very important that you understand how this works. For instance, this guy right here gives me a lot of these bone shards that I use to upgrade my main claymore. So again, very important. You guys need to understand how this works, okay? So a couple of tips for you guys in there as well as I show you my progress. Finally, let's look at this map right here. Okay, so as you can see, this is the main Mondstadt region, I believe, sorry, is how we call this. I've gotten a lot of the sort of like little things you capture to increase your stamina. I don't even know the name of them. And then in this region right here, in the Liu region, I believe, I've also gotten a lot of them, to a point where I believe I now have 216, what's it called? 216 stamina, right? Is what it's called. Like, we can check here real quick. Right, my main guy has 1,000 attack and about 216 max stamina. Okay, so guys, kind of like the overview of what I've been able to accomplish in this time. This is not a guide on how to do everything in the game. Again, I've just sort of been going around doing the quests, the main quests, the side quests, doing the dungeons, spending my resin every day, not using primo gems, only doing the 2 beginner wishes, and this is where it's gotten me so far. Okay, so if I were to say, is this game free to play? I would say yes, it is, at least so far to where I've gotten, okay? They've given me enough for me to progress. Like I said, I could do more wishes if I wanted to, because I have a couple more that was apparently given to me, or, you know, when you start out. For the month, I do need to do a total of 50. So far, I only have 20 done. So I will, I think, at some point have to spend these 10 right here, probably these 10 right here as well. And then I've got all these extra Primo Gems, which, in case you guys do not know, it costs 160 Primo Gem to get one more of these wishes, okay? So I suppose you could say in here I probably have a total of another 50-ish wishes or so, right? Which is great. I mean, I could go all in for this banner right here, hope to get some of these really solid characters. But like I said, because I don't feel that I'm having a hard time progress, I don't feel that I need to do it right now. Primo Gems can also be used to regenerate your resin, okay? So if you want to farm more, or if you want to get more adventure rank experience faster, you can use your Primo Gems towards that instead, okay? So that's important to understand. I didn't understand it for a while, now I do. So I'm sort of glad that I did not go all in with that. The final thing I wanted to talk about is this battle pass. This was unlocked at a certain adventure rank. This will reset at a certain period of time. You could spend money to unlock a second level of rewards as you gain levels in the battle pass. Like I said, I decided not to do that. I mean, the obvious sort of reason to do it would be to get more of these wishes. I seem to only get sort of like the acquaint wishes, and I'm not going to get the intertwined fate, okay? But in the shop, you can spend Primo Gems to buy more of these, okay? Daily missions, pretty straightforward, really easy to do. These commissions are in there. And then as for the weekly quests, I was able to complete all of them. It really wasn't that hard. And finally, for the monthly quests, I have yet to do a couple of them. This one right here looks like it's going to be pretty hard, but it seems like I have 30 days to pull it off, okay? So I might be good on that front if I were to spend, okay? Because I think this game does deserve your money to some extent. I'm not a gambler typically, but like I would definitely buy this battle pass. I think that it's a decent value, especially the base one. And then I believe that in the shop, there's also this other thing right here, which is decent to buy. It's sort of like this daily, what is it called? This daily gem gift, right? Primo Gems, which you get across 30 days, which is pretty solid overall. Typically, gacha games will have this sort of like daily currency deal, and it's usually really, really solid. In this case, it is exactly that, okay? So far, like I said, I have not spent any Primo Gems on these right here. I have gotten a little bit of these Masterless Stardust as I did the beginner wishes. I have yet to really use them on anything in particular. I think perhaps only for like one of these shards or something in here that I used so far, or maybe not even, right? So again, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to spend my free-to-play earned currency. And I want to know what you guys are doing in this game right now. Have you tried it out? What do you think? What do you think of the combat? Is it fun? It's an open world action RPG, even though it's not massively or massive multiplayer online game in the sense that you're not in the same world as other players. You do have the co-op element to it. And I love the fact that compared to a game like Raid Shadow Legends, I can play an unlimited amount of time. I'm not limited by my energy. I suppose you could say you're somewhat limited by your resin, but if you have enough Primo Gems saved up and the extra fragile resin to regenerate the original resin, then I think you're good to play for like a decent amount of time, at least for free to play, all right? Maybe if you put in money, you're gonna be able to play more, but so far for me, I haven't been limited, right, of what I can afford to play on a daily basis. So guys, a little bit of an overview, my quick review on this game so far as a 100% free to play player in 7 days. I wanna know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like this game? If so, consider joining my Discord server. We have a couple players that are playing right now. If you're on the American servers, then we can co-op together as well. That would be pretty amazing. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later.